Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another YouTube video. In this video, I'm going to talk about something that you might not like, might hurt your ego, might make you a little bit uncomfortable. And that is why your website is useless and why you should even delete your website. So the reason why I'm making this video is because I've spoken to a lot of businesses. I've done a lot of SEO audits, website audits for a lot of businesses. And this is one thing that I have to say to you guys. So if you own a website, okay, and if your website is not doing anything, that means it's not generating any sales, it's not generating any leads, it's not generating any sort of assets for you, right? If your website is not an asset, my suggestion is get rid of it, okay? But if your website is meant to be a portfolio, if your website is meant to be just like a business card, then by all means skip this video. This video is not for you, okay? I'm talking to businesses that owns a website that is providing some sort of services, okay? So why am I talking about this topic? Well, first of all, a lot of websites when they are first created by business owners, right? So business owners either create their own website or they hire a web design or web developer to help them build that particular website. And one of the reasons why I'm bringing this up is because it's more of a liability than an asset if your website is not doing anything for you. And later on, I'll bring you to my screen and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And this is basically something that might hurt your ego a little bit because you might be thinking, like what everybody says, right? The moment when you open up your business, you need to have a website. But what's the point of having a website if your website is not doing anything for you? Okay, what's the point of having that website? If the website is not generating any leads, any sales, any sort of, reaching your target audience, why are you having that website in the first place? Okay, so I'm going to bring you to my screen over here and kind of show you an example. And later on, we'll talk about how to fix that issue for you. So now let me go to my screen, okay, and show you an example. So as you can see here, okay, I've got a dental clinic, right? So let's just assume that you have been in the industry, you have been in your market for, more than 3 to 5 years, okay? And you have been serving your industry, you've been in the market for over years. And by right, your authority, your credibility, your brand grows over time, right? Because more people know about your service, a lot more people are recommending your service. But let's take a look at what's happening online, okay? Let's take a look at when you are building your business offline, what's happening to your online presence, okay? So I'm just going to go to a random clinic here. So let's just assume this is my clinic, okay? I own a clinic or you might own a clinic, okay? And let's just take a look at how long have this particular website been in business. I'm going to make my screen smaller so that you can see. Okay, so if you cannot find how long, well, you should know how long you have been in business. But if not, then you can go to a site like Whois. Okay, and then all you have to do is just plug in your website, and you can see, and this tool will tell you when the website was created. So in this case, the creation date is 2015, right? So let's just assume this is a 5 years old website. 5 years being in industry, okay? So by right, the people that they have served, the amount of credibility and authority they have built over the past 5 years offline, it's supposed to be good, right? Because you have been in business for 5 years, okay? Now let's take a look at what's happening to their online presence, okay? And this is what I see a lot of times. And I cannot stress this enough. And you know what? The thing is, nobody will tell you because people just want to, want you to build a really nice website. You are starting out a business, just build a really nice website, okay? And this is going to cost you that much. But what's the point? Again, what's the point of having a website if your website is not doing anything but sucking away your resources, okay? I'm going to explain to you later on. Okay, but I just want to let you know what's happening behind the website. So this is a tool that we use. It's called Ahrefs. And when I plug this website in to this tool will tell me what's happening behind that website. Okay, I'm going to move, see if I can move my screen away. Okay, look, this shows us the number of organic traffic, which means how many people is finding your website based on the organic search. They can either search on Google, Bing, whatever search engine there is. And this shows me that there's around, of course, it's not the exact number, but this shows me a rough estimate of the amount of organic traffic this website is getting, which is 68. Now, I want you to stop, right? Okay, I want you to stop and I want you to think about this. 68 monthly organic traffic for a 5 years old business. Okay, does it make sense to you? Does it make sense that a website that has been for 5 years, they have been providing business for 5 years, you know, they have built up a solid, may or may not have built up a solid database of customers over the past 5 years. But you imagine that they could be getting a lot more, they should be getting a lot more organic traffic as compared to just 68 per month. Okay. Now, think about that for a minute. Okay. And then I'm going to go back to my screen. Okay. And let's take a look at some of the sites. Okay. Let's take a look at some of the data here. If I click on organic search, okay, this shows me for the past, since 2016 all the way until now. Okay. Roughly how much traffic they are getting organically. Okay. So you can see here, in 2016, there was a rise and fall. So I would say the average is around 50. Okay, and then in 2017, they were literally getting 2 organic visitors. And then in 2018, it was around 50 again. 2019, it was 50 again. And 2020 is around 50. So for the past 5 years, they have not increased their organic traffic at all. Okay, it has been the same for the past 5 years. It has not grown. But guess what? They have been in the industry. Maybe their offline channels are doing really well. Okay, maybe your offline channels, you are building a solid database, you're building a solid foundation offline. People know about your brand offline. People are recommending your brand and your services offline. But what happens when something happens, like the recent pandemic that we are facing and we are currently still facing, okay? And nobody is able to find your website, your services online, because that's where everybody is, right? Most of the people are now going online to search for services, to search for information about their services. But guess what? Even though this website has been providing these services for 5 years, okay, it might have been even more, it might have been longer than that, who knows? Okay, but the point is, they are not building their authority online. Nobody knows about their services online. Their online presence has not grown for the past 5 years. You can look at the chart over here, okay? And a lot of things that I say is based on data, right? So look, for the past 5 years, their website has not grown at all. Okay, now let me just go to another example. Okay, let's just go to, say, this clinic, for example. Okay, so this is another clinic. Okay, and let's just see how long they have been. So since 2018, right? So that is around 1.5 years. Okay, now let's just go and take a look at what is their organic traffic. Okay, let me just plug this in here. Okay, look, 36 organic traffic on a monthly basis. Okay, on a monthly basis. And yeah, this chart, because they are relatively new website, you're not gonna see a lot of data happening over here. But guess what? What's gonna happen is, if this dental clinic is not focusing on expanding their online presence, what do you think this website will be in the next 3 to 5 years? It's probably gonna end up like this website, right? It's probably going to have this amount of organic traffic for the next 3 to 5 years if they don't focus on building their online presence, if they don't drive traffic, if they don't get any leads generated from their website. Okay, and that's the whole point of what I'm trying to make over here. Okay, let me just bring back myself on the screen. Okay, and I want you to really think about it, because if your website is just a nice, beautiful business card, okay, think about what people do with business cards. People probably, hand business card around, and guess what? There's only 2 outcomes, right? First is you either store them somewhere else, okay, you probably forget about them. Secondly, is you either throw them away. Okay, that's just the fact of how business cards work nowadays. Now, question, is your website a business card where it gets lost, okay, where nobody knows your website's existence, or your website is just left there and no traffic going to it at all? So if your website is just a business card, I want you to really think about it and think about what kind of website do you want to be. Do you want it just to be a business card, or you can either choose to drive traffic to it? It can either be via paid, it can either be via organic, you can do it on your own, you can outsource it to somebody else. But the point is you need to do something about your website. Okay, and I'm going to explain to you in two parts. First of all, is your website an asset or is your website a liability? Okay, so what is an asset? Is your website generating any sort of leads for you? Is your website generating any sort of revenue for you? Because if your website is not generating any sort of leads, any sort of sales, or doing anything for you at all, then your website is a liability. And the reason why it's a liability is because even though you don't do anything, you're not focusing on your website, there's certain payments that you're paying for on a monthly basis, or it can be on a yearly basis. So what are some of the payments that you're paying? First of all, when you have a website, you need to pay for your domain, okay, the name of your domain. And this is not a buy and own it for your lifetime. You need to renew it on a yearly basis. Sometimes it can be 2 years or 3 years, depending on the plan that you sign, okay? But you will need to renew this on a yearly basis, okay? So that's number one. Number two, you need hosting, okay? You need a place to host your website. And likewise, you need to sign up for a plan. Maybe it's for a year, maybe it's for 2 years or 3 years. But these are the two charges that you need to pay on a yearly basis, okay? Most of the time. Now, third, sometimes your website requires certain plugins, right? If you sign up for a feature that allows your website to, create certain forms or certain plugins, certain chatbot, you're paying for it on a either monthly basis or yearly basis, or maybe it's just a one-time purchase. But either ways, you're paying for that. So three, there's already three costs that you have to pay. Fourth, you can either create a website on your own, okay, or you can either find somebody to do it for you. And a lot of people that I speak with, okay, they are getting quotes for building a website, for designing a website, a really nice website, okay, and the cost can be up to $10,000, okay, $10,000 for a really nice website, okay. And guess what? What's the point of having a really nice website if it's not doing anything for you? And that's what I see a lot of times when I see certain websites, when I come into contact with certain websites, when I take a look at whatever I just did earlier on when I show you, their website is really nice, it's a really beautiful website, but their website is not doing anything for them. So guess what? That's another cost that you are paying, okay? Lastly, some websites, and this could be your website, okay, if you're writing content on a monthly basis or on a consistent basis, every single month you're generating content, right? You're spending time, okay? You not only spend money, you're spending time to write the content, you're spending time to manage your website, all this time that you're spending, and you're not generating any sort of leads or any sort of customers or any sort of, asset. And this is what I see most of the time with websites, okay? And I cannot stress this enough. So if you have a website that is not doing anything for you, it's just a business card, my recommendation is you can do without it. Because if you have it versus if you don't have it, it doesn't really make much difference, okay? If you're going to be paying for all these things, like I mentioned earlier on, your domain costs, your hosting costs, your plugin costs, web design costs, web development costs, your time into managing the websites, managing, content, writing content and stuff like that, you're better off just using your social media as an online proof to show people that you are a legit website. You don't need to have a website, okay? Now, if you want to have a website, you want to make the website do something for you, generating leads, generating traffic, and all sorts of stuff, okay? I want you to really think about this because like I mentioned earlier in the video, you're not gonna like it when I tell you this, but that's one of the things I see a lot of times. So what are some of the ways to fix this, okay? First of all, there's two ways for you to drive traffic. Okay, and I'm telling you this because when I first started out, when I built websites, I thought about building a really nice website, but nobody really talked about. So once you have the website, what's going to happen to the website if there's no traffic coming to it? It's similarly to if you own a shop. Okay, you design your shop really nice. You know, you have a wonderful place. Everything is nicely set up. You know, your tables and chairs look good, stuff like that. But there's no one coming into your shop. What's the point of having a really nice shop? Similarly with your website. So there's two ways for you to go about it. Okay, the first way is you need to generate traffic, and it can be based on paid traffic. Okay, so the two ways are paid traffic or organic traffic. Okay, paid traffic meaning to say you're paying for traffic. Okay, you're paying a platform to drive traffic to your website. Okay, it can be via Facebook ads, can be via Instagram ads, TikTok ads, Google AdWords. Okay, so that is paid traffic. You're paying to get traffic. Secondly is organic. Okay, organic meaning to say people search for a service. So for example, if I am a dental clinic, if I own a dental clinic, I want people to search for dental services in Singapore. And when people search for that, they find my website, they land on my website. That is organic. Okay, so you can either have two ways, either paid or organic. But the main point is you need to have traffic. Without traffic, your website is useless. It's sucking away your resources, sucking away your time. Forget about it. Delete your website. Move on with your life. Do something else with your social media, right? And don't focus on paying for the yearly renewal because it's not worth anything. Okay. And if you're going to have a website, then drive traffic to it. So these are the two options that I can recommend you. If you do not have a budget, okay, I recommend you to pick up, learn SEO, search engine optimization, and there's a bunch of information out there. You can do it for free. Just go out there. There's tons of courses that you can pick it up, and you don't even have to pay for courses. There's at this period of time, there are a lot of free courses available. YouTube, there's a lot of information available on search engine optimization. But the point is, you need to learn how to do a little bit of search engine optimization to start to drive traffic to your website. Because if not, your website is just going to be there, set, and forget about it. Okay. And yeah, so the whole reason why I'm making this video is because I've done a lot of audits. I've seen a lot of websites that have been around for years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. There's websites, there's clients that I work with that have been writing blog posts, okay, on a monthly basis for 3 to 5 years. Every single week, every single month, they are writing blog posts. But the amount of traffic that their website gets across the past few years is the same. And that's what bothers me. So I just want to make this video out to you guys to let you guys know the honest truth. Some of you guys might not like it. Some of you guys like it. I don't really care. I just want you to think about what your website is doing for you. Is your website an asset or is your website a liability? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think of this. And yeah, that's it for today's video. And if you like what you see, if you like what you hear, share it with your friends. Put a thumbs up, like it for the Google algorithm so that more people can see this. And that's all. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.